For all my team coins, check out thefootshop.com, their link is in the description below, and for a discount on your coins, use Nepo at checkout. What's up guys, NepentheZ here, and welcome to the market crash. Is there going to be a market crash? I'm going to talk to you guys through this video about some players that I don't think will change in prices and what I think is going to happen with Team of the Year. Of course, Team of the Year, guys, is released on Monday, most likely. It is announced publicly on Monday via FIFA.com, and EA usually put the defenders in Monday to Wednesday, the midfielders Wednesday to Friday, the strikers Friday to Saturday, and then everybody on Sunday. So with that in mind, I get asked a hell of a lot on Twitter, when should I sell my players? When's the best time to get rid of my players? Should I build a budget team now and sell whoever else I've got and then buy them back during Team of the Year? And for me, the simple answer is no. Don't do it. Do not sell your players, guys. We've got some players on screen here that I've got in the trade pile. The sort of players that you guys may have in your club that you're thinking, should I sell them? Should I keep them? And basically, I'm going to show you some stuff from Footbin with some players. There should have already been 2 market crashes in the past few weeks. December the 26th because of all the lightning round packs, and January the 1st again because of the lightning round packs. However, there was no market crash. Okay, some players dipped in price a little bit, but typically the trend stayed the same, if not actually increased. And the reason for that, there's actually a few reasons for that. Number one, the price of coins at which they're sold on the websites and at which they're attained through the glitches has a massive impact on the market. So when the coins are really, really cheap to buy, there's hyperinflation in the market, which means the expensive players become worth more, even though they're the cheap players go down in price. So when I say cheap players, I literally mean the 3K, 4K players start going for like 2K, 2.5K because they're pulled so often. But the expensive players like the Ronaldos and the Messis, they're not pulled so often still, even though there's so many packs. So there's hyperinflation because people can afford coins. Instead of maybe you get 2 million for X amount of money 2 weeks ago, but today you get 3 million for that exact same price. So people are willing to spend more money on the players that they desperately want, which kind of reduces the supply and demand. So yeah, there is hyperinflation in the market, which has happened over the last few weeks. And as far as I can tell, the coins are still exceptionally cheap right now, which means during Team of the Year, people aren't necessarily going to be selling their things to get coins because coins are so cheap to buy that's going to be a thing. People are actually going to be just buying coins and keeping hold of their players. On top of that, guys, a fair few YouTubers have already made videos on the market crash suggesting sell your players now, get rid of them, do it before the market crash happens, get the most out of your coins. And that also has an effect on the market. So it obviously reduces the price of players as people panic sell. When a YouTuber puts a video up, everyone's like, oh my God, I need to sell my players now because YouTuber said so. And everyone goes and sells their shit, which basically induces the market crash before it happens. What happens then in December the 30th or January the 3rd when you've sold all your players and you've got no players but a shit ton of coins? What do? I'm bored. I'm going to go back and buy my players. And you probably end up losing money because you sold them during a market crash video, but you bought them back a few days later when everyone realizes we fucked up. So yeah, YouTuber videos have induced market crashes. The other thing that I do notice is a lot of people on forums and Reddit and stuff asking when should I sell my players, which means people are already aware that there is due to be a market crash, which actually negates the effect of the market crash because people are being prepared way in advance to the point where they literally don't sell their players, or they sold them far, far in advance, that it really doesn't give you a market crash, but more like a downwards trend for a few weeks before it hits Team of the Year, and then an upwards trend afterwards. And it's not a crash, it's more like a slow decline. So if you're the sort of person that's sitting there thinking, I'm going to sell my players now, I'm going to buy them back so cheap during Team of the Year, you probably won't. I'm not saying you won't get any sort of discount on your players. Ronaldo maybe from 3.2 million will go down to 3 million, and Messi maybe go down 100K, and someone like Iniesta might go down from from 30,000 to 28,000. So there is a margin there that you'll pick up players for cheap, but don't be expecting the sort of crash that I think a lot of people are expecting. Fart's been here for so many years now that people are so aware of what's going on. that they get in so early that it really does reduce the effect of a market crash. So I'm showing you on screen right now, guys, the screenshot of Ronaldo and his trends for the last 2 weeks. You can see exactly 2 weeks ago he was at 3 million. Now he's at 3.2 million, give or take. And the trends haven't really varied from about 3.3 million to about 3.3 million. The reason for this is that he's such a demand player that he's not going to go down in price even if there's a market crash. So if you're sitting there thinking, I've got, you know, 2.5 million coins, probably going to be able to pick up a Ronaldo, you're probably not going to be able to pick up a Ronaldo because, like I said, it's just not going to crash as hard as I think some people think it is going to. I could be completely wrong, my logic could be completely flawed, but from what I experienced last year with the St. Patrick's Day Cup, where I made a video suggesting to people, get these Irish players now because they're going to boom in price once that St. Patrick's tournament comes out, guess what? They didn't. And why? Because everybody and their dog had already preempted the price hike, bought shit tons of Irish players, so there was far too many people trying to sell them and undercutting each other to the fact that it actually didn't increase the market at all. And it's the same method with Team of the Year market crash. People are already so prepared for the market crash that it's already happened, like it's already gone on. As we move on to the next screenshot, we've got Gareth Bale. You can see on January the 1st, his price came down a little bit. That was due to those massive 100k packs and 50k packs, but his price has pretty much increased a little bit since then. You know, it's between sort of like 490, 510,000 mark, and I honestly don't think you're going to get him for much cheaper than 470, maybe 460. So depends. Like when people ask me, should I sell my players now? It depends. If you've got Gareth Bale in your club, you can sell him today for 490 to 500,000 coins, or you can sell him in 2 weeks time or a week's time when Team of the Year is out for 450, 460,000 coins. So in retrospect, you can sell him for 490, you can buy him back for 460, you're going to lose out 25,000 on tax. You're actually only going to make 5,000 coins by selling and rebuying Bale, supposing his price goes down. What if his price doesn't come down because the market's already crashed? That in mind as well, there are only 11 Team of the Year players and they're not all in packs all in the same day. Especially the defenders and then the midfielders, people don't go crazy over buying packs for. It's mainly just the attackers. So I wouldn't even expect any kind of crashes to happen, if they happen at all, until around the Friday or the Saturday when the strikers are in packs, you know. As we move on to the next screen, look at that for David De Gea, guys. David De Gea's price has done nothing but increase since 2 weeks ago. He's almost, I'd say, added about 100,000 coins on his value in the last 2 weeks. So where was the crash on December the 26th? Where was the crash on January the 1st with these lightning round packs? There was no crash, and the reason why there was no crash is because people were already super prepared and super ahead of the curve. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, guys. For my experience with FIFA over the years and with the way market crashes have supposed to happen before, I don't believe there is going to be a crash, and I don't believe you guys should panic sell your players. It's probably best, in my opinion, if you keep your players and play with your players because you're enjoying them. If you don't have many coins, if you've only got 30 or 40,000 coins and you've got an average team, yeah, the market crash for you, if there is one, would be good because you're going to be able to afford a player that maybe you couldn't afford before, or maybe two players that maybe you couldn't afford before, you know? Like maybe a couple of 85, 86 rated players that were 25, 26,000, then they go down to 20,000, so you're in clover. Maybe that's awesome for you. But for those of you that have the legends and the informs and the high rated players, I really don't think that those players are going to come down in price. And yeah, so market crash. What market crash, guys? I could be completely wrong. Player prices could plummet, but I wouldn't expect to see it. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I can't predict the future, of course. So for those of you that do continue to ask, when should you sell your players? Don't sell your players unless you don't like the player anymore and you want to get rid of him, and maybe you can chance buying him back in Team of the Year. I don't reckon there's going to be a market crash. So it'll be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section, guys. So let me know what you guys think about a potential market crash. But for now, this is going to be the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.